I'm Chris, founder of Vector Charts. In this video, I'll be showing you how to add nautical charts to your web app using OpenLayers, an open source JavaScript mapping library. This video assumes you already have a Vector Charts cloud account. If you don't, go to vectorcharts.com and click Get Started to create an account. If you'd like to follow along with the code for these tutorials, you can go to Vector Charts example apps on GitHub, which is linked at the bottom of our website. I have an example application in React that uses OpenLayers to render a map. I've set it up by default to use OpenStreetMap, but I'd like to add nautical charts as the background layer. OpenLayers is a highly configurable library, and there are a couple of options for how we can display vector tiles on the map. In this video, I'll walk through two options for how to display the vector tiles that are served by Vector Charts' API in an OpenLayers layer. Our first option for rendering vector tiles from a Mapbox style is by using the OpenLayers Mapbox-style library. The way that this library works is it takes the JSON URL from a Mapbox or MapLibre style and then converts it to the style format that OpenLayers expects. So to do this, the first thing we'll have to do is install the OpenLayers Mapbox-style library. I've already done that in this application. And then we're going to use the function apply_style imported from OpenLayers Mapbox-style. This function apply_style is going to do two things. First, it's going to fetch the JSON for the style from Mapbox or whatever other URL we give it, and then it's going to translate that into the style format that OpenLayers expects. Then it'll apply it to the layer that we've passed in. So in order to use this in our application, we're going to need a couple things. First, we'll need to have a vector tile layer to apply the style to, and then we'll need a URL that we can grab from vectorcharts.com that contains a Mapbox style JSON. So I'm going to try this out in my application. So first I'll import apply style, and then I'm going to create a vector tile layer and use the apply style function. So here I will do this inside the use effect because this is a React application and I'm initializing the map here. Create a vector tile layer, and then I'm going to apply style. Now, by default, it's using this Mapbox style URL. I'm going to replace this with a URL from Vector Charts. So we need to go to our Vector Charts dashboard and copy the Mapbox.gl.js style URL. So I've added this to the application, and then I'll also set this access token parameter. So again, what this is doing is creating a vector tile layer and then applying a Mapbox style to that layer and creating the OpenLayers style object that will translate that to what OpenLayers understands. So now I'll take this layer and I'm going to add this to the OpenLayers map. We'll go back to our test application and refresh the page. Forgot to import this. And okay, and now we can see that the nautical charts are rendering. It's pulled in the vector charts style JSON, and it's rendering the style, pulling in the vector tiles. And as we scroll around, we can see that this is working. Now, there are a couple problems with this approach. The number one problem is that because we're translating the vector style into a OpenLayers style, the styling is not as performant and crisp as we might expect from a WebGL-based renderer. And so this next technique that I'll show you addresses that problem by using MapLibre to render the map inside of OpenLayers. The second option we have for adding vector tiles into OpenLayers is to use the ol-maplibre-layer library. The way this works is by bridging OpenLayers and MapLibre, rendering MapLibre headlessly, and then drawing it frame by frame to the OpenLayers map. This gives us kind of the best of both worlds in that we get the configurability of OpenLayers, but we can use the native WebGL rendering of MapLibre. So I'm going to try this in my app. The first thing I'll do is import the MapLibre layer from the library. I'll do that here. And then all we have to do is initialize the layer with the style JSON URL from Vector Charts. So I'm going to delete my old vector tile layer and apply style and replace it with the example in the ol-maplibre-layer documentation. remove this opacity parameter, and now we have this MapLibre options object that has a style parameter. So I'm going to go back to vector charts, copy that style URL again, and put that here. Now what we'll expect is that this MapLibre layer is going to render a MapLibre instance with this style URL and then synchronize it with the OpenLayers map. And we can see that's exactly what happened. We have the OpenLayers map, but then we also have MapLibre behind the scenes rendering the style. And you can see we get that crisp, smooth map that you expect from a WebGL-based renderer like MapLibre or Mapbox, but then we also get the normal OpenLayers layer. And so this is kind of a best of both worlds approach. And that's it. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach us by going to vectorcharts.com and clicking Contact Us. Thanks.